It's the showman. This is Butt Notes News.
DBFM Entertainment. DBFM Entertainment. Your brain is for show, man. Your brain is for show, man. DBFM Entertainment.
Welcome to this episode of Bud Notes News on the DBFM Entertainment channel. Today we will be reviewing information given to me from my weekly subscription to the NORML mailing list. NORML being the National Organization on the Reform of Marijuana Law. I highly suggest you look into them and follow them. Or you can simply watch the here on Bud Notes News. So quick, we were covering 4 topics. First one being a study showing that marijuana use is not associated with atherosclerosis. Another topic being that there is a coalition turning in signatures to place an issue on the 2018 ballot in Michigan to vote to legalize adult use of cannabis. Our third topic will be a House member passing the adult use bill in Canada. And our fourth topic, last topic, but not least topic, will be a lawsuit challenging the regulators' failures to fully implement the medical marijuana law in Florida. So, we'll jump right in. First topic again being San Francisco, California has done a study showing that marijuana use history is not independently associated with atherosclerosis. Not sure why they've chosen to discover this, but they have found out that the cumulative use of marijuana is not associated with it. And again, atherosclerosis is the hardening of the arteries, according to a longitudinal data published online ahead of the print in the journal Addiction. There is an international team of investigators from the United States and Switzerland, and they have assessed the relationship between the cumulative use of tobacco and/or cannabis and the risk of atherosclerosis in a cohort of 3,117 subjects between 18 and 30. And they reported that among the participants, quote, cumulative marijuana years were not associated with AAC or CAC, close quote. By contrast, those subjects who smoked tobacco only or consumed it with both for at least 5 years possessed an elevated risk of subclinical atherosclerosis. So this suggests that tobacco smoking may cause hardening of the arteries, possibly strokes, not cannabis. They have reported that previous research was published by the team showing the cumulative lifetime use of cannabis is not associated with cardiovascular disease, stroke, or coronary heart disease. So if you hear anyone talking about cannabis causing cholesterol or hardening of the arteries or problems associated with it, you can direct them to Bud Notes News. So second topic, we go over to Michigan, where there was a coalition to legalize the adult use of cannabis in Michigan. And they turned in 360,000 signatures to place the issue on the 2018 ballot. This is in Lansing, Michigan. Proponents of a voter initiative effort to legalize and regulate the personal use and retail sale of cannabis in Michigan have turned in more than 360,000 signatures. You need 252,523 valid in order to place the initiative, and they call it the Michigan Regulation and Taxation of Marijuana Act. They spell marijuana with an H. So that will be next year. Congratulations, Lansing, Michigan. Michigan as a whole, way to go. Hope it gets passed once you do get that bill able to be voted for. It permits people over 21 to possess and grow personal quantities of cannabis and related concentrates, while also licensing activities related to commercial marijuana production and retail marijuana sales. The proponents of the effort are the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, which includes members of the Marijuana Policy Project, the ACLU of Michigan, the Drug Policy Alliance, the National Patients' Rights Association, Michigan NORML, Michigan Legalize, the Michigan Cannabis Coalition, and lawyers from the State Bar of Michigan Marijuana Law Section. Advocates sought to place a similar measure in 2016, and that was officially turned back when the lawmakers imposed and the courts upheld new rules limiting the time frame of when the signatures needed to be collected. Same thing is going on in a voter initiative effort in Missouri and Utah, and proponents of a medical marijuana initiative in South Dakota have turned in their signatures are awaiting a review in the Secretary of State's office, and a statewide initiative to legalize the use of medical cannabis in Oklahoma has already qualified for the 18 electoral ballots. So Missouri, Utah, South Dakota, and Oklahoma are getting it in as well. Way to go, guys. Way to go, everyone who signed that petition to get that on the ballot in the first place. Hopefully those people and more will sign when it's time to vote next year and approve this state bill. So now we go to Canada. Ottawa, Canada, where members of the House of Commons voted 282 to approve legislation that seeks to legalize and regulate the adult use of the cannabis market. The Liberal Party members, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, backed the measure, which now faces debate in the Senate, where several members have threatened to delay passing the bill. If I mispronounced your name, Prime Minister, please forgive me. Now, the Cannabis Act, Bill C-45, amends the Federal Controlled Drugs and Substance Act so that those over 18 may legally possess, purchase, and grow personal use quantities of cannabis. It further seeks to establish rules and regulations governing the commercial production and retail cannabis products. Proponents of the legislation hope to have the law in place by July of 2018. Way to go, guys. I've been hearing about Canada wanting to make it legal for a while. There is a specific company that will be providing a large amount of cannabis to this market, and their stocks are growing healthy. And I suggest you look into it and invest and support the movement. Now, Health Canada is presently seeking public feedback regarding the regulations, and written comments will be accepted through January 20th of 2018. So, all my Canadians up north, hit up your gov, tell them, yo, do it. So, in our last topic here on Bud Notes News on the DBFM Entertainment Channel, we reported to you a lawsuit in Florida, Tallahassee, Florida. The patients and growers have filed a lawsuit over the regulators' failure to meet deadlines associated with the state's 2016 voter-approved medical cannabis law. This was approved almost 2 years ago, and it's not getting done like they said. Just because it became legal doesn't mean it's going to be glorious. So they legalized it, but the state can't keep up. The regulators can't keep up, specifically. The plaintiffs argue that the State Department of Health has failed to issue licenses for additional dispensaries despite an October deadline. Quote, Florida law required the DOH to issue 10 additional licenses by October 3rd, 2017, close quote. And the suit claims, quote, yet the department has failed to do so, and an issue patients say limits their access to life-saving medicine, close quote. This isn't a plant, y'all, that people just want to get stoned off of. It is a medicine that a lot of sick people need access to. And to treat it like it's an old hippie drug is completely outdated and unprofessional, immature, annoying. Get it approved. Get it done. Let's go. Regulators also have a backlog of patient applications from seeking to participate in the state's medical cannabis access program. 71% of Florida voters approved Amendment 2, which is a voted initiated constitutional amendment permitting the regulated distribution of cannabis to qualified patients. In July, plaintiffs, Florida for Care, filed suit challenging a legislative change to the amendment that prohibits the possession of cannabis, quote, in a form for smoking. That legal challenge remains ongoing. So in other words, back in July, someone wanted to change the fact that you can't smoke cannabis medicinally in Florida. You can eat it or vape it, but you can't smoke it. And I understand the thought of smoking, but there's also data showing that the effect of cannabinoids from the cannabis make up for, if anything, outdo and do more than the negative effects of inhaling combusted plant matters and carcinogens. So, look into the research yourself. Just take what I say and then go look it up yourself. Please learn more. But that's all we have for today. here on Bud Notes News. Thank you for tuning in. This is the DBFM Entertainment Channel. We have been reporting news from the National Organization on the Reform of Marijuana Law, also known as NORML. Check them out. They're great. I love them. We love them. You love us too. So again, this is DBFM Entertainment. I is for Charmaine on the Bud Notes News. And thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Be cool.